What is up, everybody? Dan the Fireman here. I tried to make a rain video. It did not work out. It outran me. There's a little bit of water on the ground, a little bit of debris, a lot of gravel, but this road and the fact that there's gravel on the ground gave me a great idea. We're going to be doing how to ride on gravel on a dirt road, just in case you guys have to. All right, let's do it. Thank you so much to my patrons and YouTube members for making this possible. This is episode 4 of Raw DDFM, Ride with DanDanTheFireman. And I want to talk to you about how to ride on gravel. So this is a dirt road. This is pretty hard packed, but this scares a lot of people. So let's actually do a U-turn. Let's get back to where I was. Whee! There we go. So let's say this is a pretty open road. There's nobody here. I'm going to do a UE real quick. So let's say I have to go into the dirt road from here. So I got to turn left into the dirt road. It's a little scary. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take it nice and easy, go into it as close to a 90-degree angle as possible, so nice and slow. And then once we transition from pavement to dirt road, it's 90 degrees, straight on, perfectly fine. This is where you need to really trust your tires. Trusting your tires is key when it comes to this. I am applying a little bit of clutch control friction zone. So I'm in first gear. I'm going to actually switch it to second gear. So a little bit of friction zone. That way I'm not going too fast. You're going to have these little bumps right here. These bumps are usually caused by water. So now that we're flat, I'm perfectly fine with accelerating just a little bit using the friction zone like we learned in class and in the DDFMcrew.com. So you're going to have some bumps. You're definitely going to have some bumpy roads. Hey, buddy, what are you doing? What are you getting all crazy down there for? I got this because I thought it was going to rain. So crazy little bumps. Now right here, you really want to take it nice and easy, nice and slow, and use up as much as you possibly can, as much of the road. If you notice on the road that there's tire marks, think of that as like a steamroller freaking rolling the ground, making it nice and hard. So I've actually followed the actual other people's tire tracks, and I try to keep it in there as best I can. Now, this is actually a very easy road to ride on. You can accelerate. Woo! Got a little fishtailing going on here, but if you accelerate too much, you're going to get a little bit of fishtail, like I just did. So you got to be careful with that. So right now, everything is smooth movement, smooth movement. So smooth in the throttle, smooth in the clutch, smooth in the brakes. And when you take these turns, you take them like normal road turns, but you do the recommendation of 20 miles an hour. That's what the dirt road said is recommended 20 miles an hour. That's what I'm going to do. Now, obviously, you can go a little bit faster if you wanted to. You can go, 30, you can go 35, whatever it is. And you can actually go a little bit fast. But then once these turns happen, you have to make sure you slow, look, press, which is the counter steering, and then rolling. So right here, this turn is a little creepy. So I'm using a little bit of friction zone to remove a little bit of power to the rear wheel. I'm using a little bit of rear brake to kind of slow myself down. And it's like, oh crap, I missed my turn. That's my turn. So let's say I have to do a U-turn in gravel. So I'm gonna commit to this right here. This is a blind turn. I'm not gonna do a U-turn on a blind turn. So I'm actually gonna go a little bit further. And this applies to car driving too. You don't want to do U-turns on blind turns. All right, so this looks pretty flat. This looks pretty good. I'm gonna use up as much room as I possibly can. And here's the thing. If you have to, use your feet. Nobody here says you have to do it without your feet. Now, the concept of slow speed U-turns, just like on the road, does apply here. You still have to counterweight, counterbalance, all those things. So let's do that. Let's go ahead. Let's do a sharp turn. So we're full lock handlebars, and I'm just gonna use my foot. I'm gonna look where I wanna go. That's all you have to do. Now, it's pretty simple. Now, you could definitely do a full U-turn, counterweight, all that stuff. You could definitely do that. There's nothing wrong with that. And this camera, this is one reason why I don't do that. This camera's dumb. So that's soft shoulder. You gotta watch out for that. You definitely don't want to go into the soft shoulder. So let's say now I gotta make my turn. We got blind turns. I got a bunch of people coming. So the hazard here is anybody in the blind turn. So let's say I have to stop. So you do it nice and smooth, nice and slow. Okay, now we're on pretty soft ground. And I got to make this turn. I'm going to indicate. Now I'm doing everything slow for you guys. So it's soft. Now what you do is you try your best to point the direction you need to go. So I'm pointing that way. And I'm using friction zone. Friction zone. Once I get a little bit of weight and I feel balance, I go ahead and go. It's just like sharp turn from a stop in the MSF. It's the same thing. But go ahead and use your feet, guys. There's nothing wrong with that. We're on something that there's less traction. We have street tires, all these different things. So there's no problem doing that. No problem doing that. Now, there's different ways of doing a bunch of things, okay? There's definitely a different way. So, oh yeah. You gotta double check where I want to go. And that's another thing, is you gotta look well ahead of time. Well ahead of time. So let's say, all right, let's go straight. We're gonna play with these things for a little bit. So let's say I have to turn around. It's like, oh, this isn't really the turn that I was supposed to go on. So right here, we got some bumps. I'm picking the straightest possible spot. If I was down there, we're gonna be off camera. Oh, Gila monster! Oh, Gila monster! I've never seen one this close. Gila monster. Gila monster. Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. That was so cool. Those things are rare. All right, so we're gonna go over these little bumps. It's like, man, who lives down here? I gotta deal with this. It's like, when can I turn around? This is pretty narrow, pretty sharp. So right here, I'm gonna actually pick this flatter spot. So I'm gonna go up here, pick the flatter spot, go back over here, pick the flatter spot. I don't wanna go in this little divot stuff right here. All right, so we gotta turn around. Like, what do we do? Because I don't wanna get caught out here. I only got 18 more miles to my gallons. I gotta go fill up. So it's like, all right, we're gonna turn around. See how I'm using every single portion of the lane? We're gonna turn around. This looks like a good spot, kinda. It's a little bit off cantered, a little off, but we got more room here. So we got this. And once again, if you have to, take a break, look where your next move is, and get prepared to do it. I think my best spot is there because we've got this bump right here. So first, I'm gonna check nobody coming. Slow movements. We're not turning the handlebars super quick. We're doing slow movements. This is where slow speed really plays a role. I got my foot ready. I did that without putting my foot down. I did take my foot off the peg just in case. And you could do that here, guys. There's nothing wrong with that. But here's the thing. You got to commit to it. Remember, slow movements with the handlebars and slow movements with the primary controls, which is throttle, clutch, and brakes. Right now, I'm pretty much, oh, we're low. We got to get some fuel. I'm going to have to go back to the peel box. Using some friction zone. Because if I don't, we're going pretty decent. We're going 12 miles an hour. But there's a few times where I'm going downhill and I want to use friction zone or rear brake. Okay, what you do is when you use friction zone, you're taking power to the rear wheel. We're taking it away. So I'm not using all the power I can for that rear wheel, and that's perfectly fine. You could do that for these situations. People say you're going to burn out the clutch, but I mean, like, if you use a lot of trail braking, you're going to burn out the brakes, right? Or make them nice and spongy. But you see how I switched spots right here? Because I like this spot a little bit better than that spot down there. And that's what you can do on these dirt roads. So I switched over. So let's say I got a turn. So this is soft. This is soft, so I got to make a full-on decreasing radius turn. So I do is counter steer, or counterweight, sorry. Nice and slow, friction zone, 5 miles an hour, nice and slow. There's no rush. You're not dirt bike riding. You're not, going for time trials. Same thing, go nice and wide as possibly can, looking for that. Okay, nobody coming. There you go. So now we're here, a little bit of rear brake, to slow us down just a little bit. No front brake when you're turning the handlebars, you're gonna dump it. So a little rear brake. Your rear brake is very important when it comes to off-road stuff. Now, when you're riding, you're gonna feel like you lost a lot of traction, okay? Like there's gonna be a few times where you're like, oh crap, And that's fine, just ride it out. Ride it out. Do not make a jerky movement to apply the brakes. Do not accelerate too hard. Do not turn harder. Ride it out. Commit to it. Remember, the easiest thing you can do is ride straight and then just apply the brakes and then just move the bike after that. You don't have to ride through everything. And I really wish that we got the rain. I could do a riding in the rain video, but we can't. So right here, this guy's going slow enough for me. I feel comfortable, so I'm going to go out nice and slow. Now I'm in my lane, and I'm going to straighten up slowly. There we go. Now that we have this wide open spot, I'm going to go ahead and accelerate. Now, when I mentioned those bumps from the water, you can't see them until you're almost on them. So if you're hauling ass and you're going fast and all of a sudden you hit the bumps, you're gonna, right here, there's a little bit of bumps. It's kind of flat. I'm gonna see what I can do about hitting them at a higher speed. But we got these turns right here, so I'm gonna slow down just a little bit. stay upright as much as I can, and give myself just a little bit of a body angle, because that way my bike is upright and suspension's working. Here's some bumps. That's going to reduce your traction a little bit, those bumps. So once again, body, keeping the bike upright. There we go. Very good. We got some more bumps. Now these grooves and bumps can really push you into a certain direction. They can push you left, push you right, all these different things. The main thing that really hurts people when it comes to street tires, street bikes onto gravel road is the fact that there's a lack of traction. A lack of traction is what gets people to drop their bike and not looking far enough ahead. This is one of those situations where I'm looking like right there and I'm using my peripheral to see if there's any hazards up ahead. I'm literally looking at the ground right here because I have to see what my next spot is. And if I outrun my vision because I'm going too fast, that's a big problem. So I try not to go fast. So right now I want to stay within these tires, these tire marks kind of right here. I like it, and I'm going to take it nice and easy. So you're going to be doing a lot of speeding up, slowing down when it comes to gravel. This stupid camera. I hate this. It's called the Venture case. I'd rather have it raw. But that's it. Now we're going to transition. To this. So once again, we're going to stop. Now we're on a hill. This is a whole new video that I could talk to you guys about. If you guys want to see me go, or if you want to see me do some tips on how to start from a hill and all this other stuff, let me know. But I got to get some fuel. I'm running low. So right now, we got to take it nice and easy. So what I'm going to do is friction zone. See, right now I'm in friction zone. It's keeping the bike up. If I let go of it, you see how I fall back? So friction zone. So a little bit of brake, a little bit of friction zone, and the bike is keeping me straight. Pulling the clutch, I fall back. Okay, so friction zone, and it's moving me. Very good, very good. We're good. A little bit of friction zone. Well, I stalled. It happens. A little bit of friction zone. I wonder if I'm running out of gas. A little bit of friction zone, a little bit of throttle, and there we go. Up and out. Hey, we all stall. But that is how you ride on gravel, guys. Hopefully you learned something. This was a very easy, quick one. I spent a lot of time on the mountain, a lot of time in town. I'm gonna do some more stuff. I really tried to get the rain, but I'm gonna do some night riding, group riding, a bunch of other stuff. And if you guys like this, please hit that subscribe button and I'll be riding along with you. Try to come up with a catchphrase, I don't know. I gotta get fuel. I'll see you guys later. Hope you guys ride safe, be safe, and I'll see you around.